Hey, it's Kristen again, and today we're in my bedroom. And the project I want to work on today for decluttering using the Swedish death cleaning method is this bookshelf here. And the reason it's empty is, mostly empty, is because I recently decluttered my family room and my guest room down in the basement, and this shelf only had decorative things on it in the guest room, so it really wasn't needed. And I really could use a bookshelf right here. Um, I had like a little vanity here with just decorative stuff on it too, and a bunch of baskets underneath it. I think I forgot to take a picture of it to show you, but I'll have to look to see if I have one. Um, But anyway, I wanted to use this space better and have a bookshelf here. So I brought that up. This is my current bookshelf, and it's kind of blocking the window. It's just one that I picked up on the curve. It's got these weird knobs on it. It looks like it originally had another shelf on top, maybe, and that was missing. So, and it's got some marker scribbles on it, or so I would like to transfer the books over to this shelf. But I also want to go through them. I haven't looked at them in a while to see if I really need to be keeping them. Are they still significant to me? And keeping in mind, like when my kids have to sort through my stuff or when I need to downsize to go to a smaller place. Hopefully, I'd rather not. I'd love to live in this house forever, but um, downsizing is always good, less stuff to take care of. And the more things I'll be able to fit on this shelf if I can condense what I have, because I've got other areas, other stuff around the room. It could really help contain things if I am more selective about what I keep. So I'm going to go through that, and if I have time, I've got other areas that I want to look at. But the main thing I want is to get this shelf being used. And it's kind of an eyesore sitting here with nothing on it. It's been bugging me for like 3 days now. It's like, I need to get something on this shelf so it looks normal. All right, so what I'm going to do first is take off everything I have on this shelf and put it on my bed and try to group it into categories that make sense. And then I'll see what I want to keep and what I want to get rid of. All right, so on the top here, I've got a bunch of CDs and a CD player. And I do like to listen to a CD in the morning when I'm getting dressed and doing my exercises. And for some reason, I find putting on a CD quicker than trying to find music that I like on my phone. It's a more analog way of listening to music, being off my phone. All right, let's see what else we have in here. Isn't that cool how this shelf just comes up? The whole thing folds flat. So I probably won't get rid of the shelf because I can store it somewhere until I find another use for it. All right, so I have some journals. These are kind of like Bible study journals. Lessons from a Sheepdog. This is a book my sister gave me, so that's like a devotional book. Uh, by the same author. The Shepherd Looks at Psalm 23, also devotional. Streams in the Desert. Oh, the autobiography of George Mueller. But my friend was very interested in reading this, so I want to loan that. He was such a man of faith and had amazing answers to prayer. So if you haven't read George Mueller's autobiography, I highly recommend it. The Secret Garden. Love that. So that would be fiction. A Christian Secret to a Happy Life. Maybe. Prayer of Jabez, Case for Christ. I think I'm going to let some of these go. If I've already read them and I don't think I'm going to read them again, I might as well let someone else benefit from them, right? Oh, is this a journal too? No, this is a devotional. Lisa Turkhurst, Seeing Beautiful Again. This Lisa Turkhurst was really her. I went to a Bible study featuring one of her books, How to Forgive. It's probably in here somewhere. But that really helped me get through that rough time after my separation. Celebration of Discipline. That's an excellent book. I actually read this in college. Oh my goodness. This is like a reference book for me. Very, very good. So I'm going to hang on to that. Same thing with The Case for Christ. That's like a reference book. I want to read that again. Earthing. Oh, this is about grounding. I was into grounding a lot last year and I've kind of gotten away from it. And I'd like to get back into it again. So I feel like this is also a reference book that I need a refresher on. So I'd like to hang on to that. A Case for Faith, another good one by Lee Strobel. I really need to read those again. An aromatherapy Bible study. I forgot I had this. And I was doing this with a friend, but we're all done with it now. And I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would do it again. So I think I'm going to let that one go. Where's my letting go pile? I think I'll put letting go over here. The Power of a Praying Woman. This is excellent. All of Stormy O'Mardian's books are really good. She has a whole series on the power of praying. And so I consider this like a devotional book. Like I think it has like 30 chapters, like one for each day of the month, and you can go through it. I've got a lot of devotional books. I could probably, by the time I get through here, I could probably have one for each month of the year. This is another good one by Beth Moore, Praying God's Word. Oh, here's the one I was talking about by Lisa Turkhurst, Forgiving What You Can't Forget. Very, very good. And there's a workbook to go with it. So I did this Bible study at church. I don't think I need to hang on to the workbook, but I would like to hang on to this. I've underlined a bunch of stuff in here for review. And who knows, maybe someone will come along that I want to lend that to. Okay, the forgiveness journal, this goes with it too. I can't remember if well, I did, looks like I did fill this out. Got some pretty pictures in here. I don't know, journals like this that where you read something and fill in the blanks, I'm not as attached to as my own personal journals that are like 100% me. This seems more like a Bible study type of thing where you read something and you respond to it. So I don't feel like I need to keep this. I can let that one go. But, you know, these ones that I have that are written in, I don't feel like I can donate, you know? Maybe instead of donating these, if they have any good pictures in them that I can use for my art journal. But like this one, you know, with I could definitely tear that out and use it in one of my journals. I have a vision journal that I'm working on now, and that would be a good one for that because that would remind me, hey, one of my goals is to read the Bible more consistently and spend more time with God. So I think I'm gonna harvest this book, harvest the pictures in that book. Okay, let's see what else. This might take a little while. So, the truth about COVID. Yes. So, this was very helpful during that time. But, I feel like it's been a few years. That was like 6 years ago now. So I don't feel like I need to hang on to this anymore. I haven't. So I think I'm going to let that one go. The Mind Body Prescription, Healing the Body, Healing the Pain. I don't even remember getting this book. Looks interesting. So that could go in my pile of new books to read. This was a book that a friend gave me, and she said if I'm done with it, she wants it back. So this was when my husband and I were going through our separation. I think I'm going to just give that back to her. Okay. Oh, this is a really good book. It's called A Mind of Your Own by Kelly Brogan. The Truth About Depression and How Women Can Heal Their Bodies to Reclaim Their Lives. I was going through, besides depression, I was going through a lot of issues with my thyroid and things like that. And this was really good information about whether or not to go on medication for um, depression and what are the effects of it on your body. I mean, everybody has to make their own decision, but this book helped me decide to get off of antidepressants. So if that is something that interests you, I highly recommend this. So I think I'm going to keep this as a reference because I haven't read it in a while, and it would be good to refresh myself on that. And it also talks about making better choices of what you eat. And that's always something I need to be paying attention to. So I think I'm going to put the health books together. That's health. These are like Christian reference. Earthing is definitely health. This was one of the ones I want to give to other people. Go over there. This, I think, will go down with the children's books. In the family room, I've got a shelf for children's books. Oh, this was one of my favorite novels. I'm so sad the cover is gone. Here's the back of it at least. Maybe I can find a picture of the front of it. It's Christie, a powerful, moving book of great depth. It's about this Christy Huddleston left home at 19 to teach school in the Smoky Mountains. There she came to know and love the wild mountain people with their fierce pride, their dark superstitions, their terrible poverty, their yearning for beauty and truth. And it goes on her journey of becoming a teacher out there, and it's all based on a true story. The author Catherine Marshall, I think this was her mom's story, if I remember correctly. So, and they did make a TV series out of it a few years ago, which was a good series, but the book is even better. So I highly recommend that if you want a good book to read. I got to keep that, even though it's not in great shape, just because it's a favorite, and I wouldn't mind reading that again. Yeah. Okay. When Faith is Forbidden. I did read this and it was good, but I don't think I'd read it again. Oh, here's another Stormy Omardian book, The Power of Praying for Your Adult Children. So this would be very applicable to me. All my children are grown up. I have 4 of them. So that would be good to do. And here's another one, The Power of a Praying Parent by Stormy Omardian. So I think though, since all this is more geared towards parents of kids who are still at home. So I think I'm going to let that one go and let someone else benefit from that. Um, Okay. The gospel. Oh, this is a cool project that I did. I hope you don't mind hearing about all of my books and my journals because there's often a story attached with each one. And I like to share the story behind it, right? I'm hoping it makes the video more interesting. So, anyway, this in church, the pastor did a series on the book of Luke. Was it last year? I don't know. Did I put a date in here? I don't think I put a date in. Might have been 2 years ago. But anyway, they handed out these Bibles that have the scripture on one side and then blank pages on the other. And each sermon that he did, I I tried to do some journaling on the other side. I don't know if we can see that. Let me show you. So I really enjoyed doing this. What I kind of did is I took notes in my own notebook first, and then I put in some pretty notes in this book. So I really enjoy this style of Bible journaling. And if that's something that you are interested in too, please let me know in the comments because I might make some videos about that if that's something people are interested in. So definitely want to keep that. So here's my Bible journal pile. Um, these also are books I'm interested in keeping. So the kind of reference books for me. A book about the Amish. This is kind of like a memory thing for me. Um, Something I picked up in one of the Amish gift stores. Just a little booklet with pictures. Since the Amish don't like you taking pictures of them, this was kind of a way to get some pictures that I could refer to. But I feel like this would go more with my memory books or my photo albums than here. So let me set that aside. With Daring Faith, this is a book about a missionary named Amy Carmichael. And I think, oh, this belongs to Dale Conklin. This is like a kid's book about her. I don't know if did I read this? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I read this. So I think I'll put that with the kids' books. Becoming a Woman of Prayer. This is another Bible study, but I don't think I'll hang on to that one. I feel like I've got enough here. Oh, this is another missionary story, Bruchko. Oh, this was life-changing to read for me. It just showed so much about the power of God and just how God worked through this man and just everything he went through. Some parts are sad, um, but if you like to read stories about missionaries, I would highly recommend this one. So I do want to keep this one. I wouldn't mind reading that again or passing that along to someone that I think would enjoy that. All right, I've got one shelf clear. Now I've got the bottom shelf to do. And this, oh wow. Oh, this is cool. This is a notebook that someone at church gave me about the end times. I wasn't able to actually go to his Bible study because I was in a different one at the same time. He put a lot of work into making this. So, yeah, that'll go with my Bible study pile. And I've got this Bible study reference book that I've had maybe since college. It has it's like three things in one. It's a concordance, a topical index, and a Bible dictionary. Now, these days you can find all that information online, But there are times where I just don't want to be distracted by my phone when I'm studying the Bible, and I just prefer to use this to look things up. So that way, I'm not seeing any messages or notifications or Facebook posts. So I do like to use that. I'm not sure what to do with this Bible. It's definitely seen better days. And this is was my first reference Bible. Is it a King James? It's called the Open Bible. Can't remember what. Yes, it is a King James version, which when I was in younger, college age, that's the version that we used in our church. But since then they've switched over to the New International Version, and the church I'm in now is like the English Standard Version, and there's so many other versions now. So I don't really use this anymore, but it does have a great cyclopedia at the beginning, but it seems to be the same one that's in this book. So I don't really need to have two references. Part of me, it's like I've bonded with this book. I spent so much time in it. Um, and I don't think anybody else would want it because it's falling apart. Um, and is it sacrilegious, like to tear pages out and use them in journaling? I don't know. And I don't know, would I even use these verses because they're in the King James Version, which is nice for some things, but so I'm not exactly sure what to do with this. Maybe you guys have some ideas you could leave me in the comments. Okay. And then I have a standard dictionary. And again, we can just look this up on the internet now, any word that we want. So it's like, do we really need to keep a dictionary? I've seen crafts you can do with dictionary pages. I haven't tried any of them yet. So I don't know. Uh, this makes me think of a game though that my dad taught us when we were kids called Fictionary. I don't know if any of you have ever played it, but it's kind of like the board game Balderdash, but you actually use a real dictionary. And when it was your turn, you find a word that nobody knows what it means. And everybody has slips of paper and pencils, and you read the word, and everybody has to make up a definition for the word. But you, with whoever has the dictionary, has to write the real definition. And then you collect all the responses and you read them, and everybody votes on which one they think is the real definition. And we just had hilarious times with that. Some of the silly things that people wrote, or and my dad would usually fool all of us because he would come up with these very educational sounding definitions. And plus, it was hard to find a word that my dad didn't know. It usually took several tries to find a word that he didn't know the meaning of. So that was fun. We have lots of good memories. So I think I want to keep this just so we can play that game when we get together as a family. In fact, we're having a gathering on Saturday, and maybe that might be a good idea because my dad will be there. Yeah. All right. So where am I keeping this? I kind of think instead of being in my bedroom, this should go in the family room, like near the games. So that's going to go down there. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, I've got, this is another devotional book about the spiritual warfare. I really like this, even though it's older, like the copyright. The original text in here, it was first published in 3 volumes in 1655, 1658, and 1662. So it comes back, it's like 300, more than 300 years old, almost 400 years old. Obviously, not this version has been reprinted, but I really like reading things in Old English and think, they used a different vocabulary back then, and there were a lot of deep thinkers back then. They didn't have the internet and YouTube and AI to do the thinking for them. They really had to think through things themselves. And so I love reading the writings from that time period. So that's a great devotional book. I've got a lot of devotional books to get through. And then I've got some more Bible study books. This is one similar to the book of Luke that was on the book of Mark. Maybe they'll do John next year. But this one I had fun. Let me get this a little closer. I had fun doing some watercolor with for different things. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. So I really enjoyed doing this. And at the time, I was also in a small group, ladies' small group, specifically doing Bible journaling. And so we would share what we were each doing each week. So for this one, I found a picture on the internet and used that as an inspiration. I'm not that good of a drawer, to be honest, but I can trace things. So anyway, if this is something you're interested in as well, let me know. And then I've got a couple other books. Oh, what's this? Oh, I think my mom is here. Hold on. So apparently, after I came back from talking to my mom, who had stopped by, I assumed that my microphone was still connected to my iPad, and it wasn't. So these next few clips do not have any sound to them. So I am speeding them up so you can still see what I did, and I'm going to put some music on until we get to a later point where I come back after my piano lessons, and this time my mic will be working. it's Kristen, and I just wanted to follow up because I took a break and I had to go get some things done, teach some piano lessons, which is why I changed. And then I was able to get the books that I had sorted into piles on the bed onto the shelf, and the other ones that I was getting rid of or going other places out of the room. So my bed is clear again, yay. And let me just share what I've put on each of these shelves. So the top shelf is where I have my devotional books and Christian books that I would like to read. The second shelf is like my Bible study shelf. I've got various Bibles here. I went through the books that were next to my bed as well, so some of them came over here. And the Bible journals that I've done, and some Bible reference books, things like that. And then this shelf is like my literature shelf, books from the book club that I want to read. I've got a book I found from my sister a while ago that I want to read, and some of my favorite ones that I've already read. And then this shelf is my health and business shelf, the books that were in the room about health here. I do have some more in the kitchen, but that's more about herbs and things like that. So I figured I'll just keep the ones in here that had already come in here. And then I've got a couple of business books over here as well. And this shelf down here is where I keep the journals that I've been making. And the bottom shelf has a basket of extra notebooks, like blank ones. Like usually when I buy journals or traveler's notebooks or things like that, I get them in a bundle, and I put the extra ones down there until I need them. I did have a few of these white notebooks. I did decide to keep this one, the personal planner one that had the different pages templates, because I had bought these templates on Etsy. I printed them out, put them in here, and so I'm just saving the templates in case I do decide to make my own planner again at some point. But when I put these white notebooks on here, I didn't really like the way they looked. They stick out farther than this shelf is deep, and because they're bright white, my eye was drawn to them, and they just didn't go with the aesthetic that I wanted on this shelf. I want it to look a little more vintage or more bookish, library-ish, I guess. And you don't see these types of things at the library. So there's a little space between this shelf and the wall, so I've just got them tucked over there on the floor. So I'm fine with that. They're kind of out of sight, but they're still available if I want to get to them. And I like how the mirror right here reflects the bookshelf, and it makes it look like there's another shelf over there, which is kind of fun. But I wonder if I should put something decorative right here, but I'm not sure what yet. Maybe a plant or something, a hanging plant in the corner. But this room is quite dark. It doesn't get a lot of light. I'd have to put a plant light on it if I put one there. So I got to think about that a little bit more. But I'm happy with how this turned out. It looks a lot better now than just that blank shelf. And this area looks better too. Let me turn the camera so that you can see. So I still have my air conditioner right here, which I just have to work around. It's okay. And then instead of that shelf here, now I just have a stool, which is nice because I like that stool for putting my laundry baskets on as I'm sorting clothes and putting them away. So now it's nice that it's a little more out of the way and not out in the middle of the room. So that's working well for me. I wanted to show you this little cart is looking a lot better. I moved the the set of drawers that used to be on top down to the middle layer. It just fits. This is where I have my scrunchies and my hair ties and bobby pins, things like that. And my extra glasses, some shoe polish, some of my jewelry it's in there. So I like to keep that handy. This has my leg warmers in it, which I don't need right now, but I will in the winter. And then now the top shelf can be for my CDs and my CD player, which is great. These will be very accessible. It's an even better place than where they were before, under the window, because this is near where I get dressed and put on my morning oils here, which we'll save those for another video, because I do need to do some decluttering of that. This all needs decluttering. I do have a little more decluttering to do here in the corner. This chair in the corner tends to just accumulate stuff. I used to be able to sit in it, but now I can't because it's got piles of stuff. So I want to see what's here. All right, I was actually looking for this. This is one of those massage balls for my feet. So I'm glad I found that. This keeps wanting to fall over. Why is this light? I'm going to turn this light off here. Is that a little better? Okay, I know the lighting is not great in here, but we'll make do. Okay, this is a little notebook that I take along with me to small group to write prayer requests in. So that should go with my Bible study stuff. Small groups will be starting up again soon. Clipboard, that should go back out in the clipboard bin. This is a little art journal sketchbook. So that should go with my art journal shelf, which is out in the kitchen. These are old papers. Garbage there. Put that with my journals. Some journaling supplies. I guess this was the bag that I used to take small group, I think. Well, this is piano recital. I don't know what this bag was for. Yeah, this is small group stuff. Do a coloring page. Oh, can we see that? I like to print off coloring pages with Bible verses on them to bring to small group, and then we can color while we're chatting. So this is my small group. This is going to be my small group bag that can stay together. We don't have our curriculum yet that we're going to use this time around. Well, I was wondering where this was. So that can go in the drawer here. Okay. I have started a basket by the front door that has my different tote bags in it, because I've got a tote bag for church, now I have a tote bag for small group, tote bag for traveling, and so that way I'll know where to look for tote bags. Okay, what is this? Garden notes from last year. So that should go on my garden journal shelf. 2026 goals. I should review this to see if I'm on track now that it's August. I totally forgot. I made this, yeah. So I think I'm going to put this here. These are the books that I use like first thing in the morning or before I go to bed. So I can review that. And some more pens. I love these disposable types of fountain pens. I'll have to put a link online, but they're really, they've got, you know, the regular, let me bring it up so I can see, you can see. So it's got the regular fountain pen nib to it, but it's disposable. So when you use it up, you just throw it away and start a new one. I've got them all over the house because I love them. You get like a set of 10 or 12, and they really last quite a long time. I'm on my second set, but I'd rather buy those than, the regular style ballpoint pens. I think they're funner, they're smoother, and they're cooler. Right? What is this? This is another notebook of to-do list, apparently, that I made. Seems like I'm always changing my style of to-do list, so I'm not using this anymore. But I do want to hang on to this book or this notebook because it's a nice size. In my piano studio, I have a closet where I keep extra notebooks, binders like this. So I'll put that in there. This is garbage. All right, so let me just use this basket for things that are going to go elsewhere. That's going to go on that shelf. This I want to save. I don't know. I feel like this would be handy to grab if I'm journaling out of the house. But right now, I'm not. I'm just going to take these out until I actually need them. I do need to go through like all my pens and pencils and stuff, and they're kind of all over the place and not very well organized. We're getting closer. You can see the chair now. This backpack is what I use for traveling. I like to keep my activities in. And it looks like I still have some chargers in here, some earbuds, some magazines to read, a book to read. All right, so it's already halfway packed. And I do have a weekend trip coming up over Labor Day weekend. So, which is just like 2 weeks from this weekend, right? I think so. So I am going to be packing this up soon, but I don't want to keep it on the chair. My luggage is in the closet here, so I think I'll put it with my suitcase. Yay, I can see the chair. Let's see if I can actually sit in it. Yay! Now I can sit in the chair. The question is, do I actually need a chair here? At one time, I was doing journaling in here while sitting in the chair, or my morning quiet time. Now, I guess I've been just doing it in my bed because this chair was not available. It was covered with stuff. And I think it's better to do it in the chair than in my bed because posture-wise, it's better for me, better for my body. And I think mentally, too, it's better to not do a lot of activities in your bed, just keep it for sleeping, make it more restful. So I think I would like to try again to use this chair for my morning time, or at least my morning time. Maybe my evening time can still be in my bed because I will fall asleep while I'm reading. But let's make this the morning prayer chair. And for my morning quiet time, journaling, Bible time, whatever. So, and then I've got the things that I use for that right here in this Roman cart. And I have some journaling supplies right here. And easier to get to from this angle rather than up on my bed, because my bed is quite high. And I was getting a little frustrated with accessing these journaling supplies before. So I'm going to give that a try. All right, well, I think we'll wrap things up here, but I'm feeling so much better about this room, even though there's still areas that still need decluttering, like the essential oil stuff, my closet, my dresser. But just having the books organized in here and my journaling stuff really helps a lot mentally. So thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Bye.